Getting a camera lag. Camera lag. Hi, Molly. Great to see you. What's up, Justin? Getting a little camera lag. I'm going to have to deal with it. All right, let's go. I just want to start off today by saying thank you. I want to say thank you to my man, Bob Kopeski, because Bob Kopeski submitted his favorite quote to the hashtag Rise and Grind Planner. And every morning I wake up, first thing in the morning, I go downstairs, 3:30 in the morning. I open my planner so I can write down my gratitude, my goals, all of that stuff for the day. And I always read that quote right there at the top, right? I read the quote and it kind of sets the tone for the day. And Bob made it really easy on me today. The quote that Bob put at the top of the hashtag Rise and Grind Planner said simply this: be better today than yesterday. That's it. Be better today than yesterday. 5 words, and yet so incredibly profound. Because if we each were to do that in every different area of our life, faith, fitness, family, finances, our friends, our careers, how we feel about ourselves, our mental health, if we would apply those 5 words every day, just be better today than you were yesterday. Where would you be 365 from now? Where would you be 5 years from now? Where would you be 10 years from now? So, Bob, I just want to say thank you. Those 5 words, incredibly impactful in my life this morning, and I know it will impact the lives of tens of thousands of people around the world. So thanks for submitting your quote to the hashtag Rise and Grind Planner. Now let's dive into today's episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to 1, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Wednesday. That's right, today is Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. It's also known as CMA Day, which is Carter Myers Automotive, my favorite automotive group in the country. If you're ever thinking about getting a career in automotive, CMA is where you want to be. But I'm excited. I call it CMA Day because on Wednesdays, Danelle Delgado and I, we get to spend time with Liza Myers-Borges and her entire team, Scott Simons and the whole crew over there at CMA. We get to spend time pouring into them every Wednesday, and they really pour into us in a very unique and incredible way. So I love that relationship. I love my Wednesdays. I love CMA Day. And so first, before I go too far into today's episode of hashtag Rise and Grind, episode 882, before I go too far, what I want to do is I want to say thank you. I want to start by saying thank you to those of you that tune in to Rise and Grind, to those of you that watch the show, whether it be on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, for those of you that listen to the podcast, for those of you that tune in on Clubhouse, I want to say thank you. Yesterday I wrote, and if this is your first time like seeing me, I apologize for this. I'm not like conceited or in any way, shape, or form. But yesterday I wrote an incredible episode. I did. It was a really incredible episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. It was titled One Man Can Change the World, which is the series that we're in. And it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal episode. And so yesterday I wrote that episode. I delivered that episode. There was a lot of production around it. And 110 of you on Facebook alone shared that episode out. 110. That's a lot of shares. We had 600 plus comments on the show, right? 649 comments, 110 shares, 89 likes. And I just wanted to say thank you. That was on Facebook alone. Now, we didn't get any love from Facebook because we never do. I've showed up here 882 times. Some days Facebook won't let anybody see it. Other days it's they won't let you comment. Other days they won't let you share. Even when you do share, nobody sees it in your feed. We have never gotten any love from Facebook, ever, from day one. But we've been able to build something incredibly powerful anyway because of you, because of your commitment to share the show, your commitment to talk to people about the show, your commitment to show up at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time and support me in this mission. Your commitment is what's made it go through. We don't get the favor of the Facebook algorithm. That's never worked in our favor. 110 shares yesterday, 650 comments yesterday, 90 likes yesterday, 1,500 views. That's it. That's it. So listen, I want to start to say today by saying thank you because I thought about the work that you do. I put in a lot of work to produce this show, but the work that you do to push it out, to share it, the things that you execute on in your life, I am so grateful for you. I am so grateful, and I have so much love for each and every single one of you. So many of you have been so supportive. You've been so supportive. You go and you buy my gear. You're rocking the hoodies and the hats and the t-shirts. You've been so supportive. You send me messages all the time talking about how Rise and Grind and Breakfast with Champions has impacted your life. Those messages are absolute fuel for me. You tell all your friends about the show. And we were just talking on Breakfast with Champions, and she was like, I've been telling my trainer that my trainer's got to pop up in here, right? Like you tell your friends about it, which I love. You guys send me gifts all the time, which is amazing. You honor my wife and my children. My kids were taking a walk over in Paris, Kentucky yesterday, and people drive by and they wave and they're just like, meanwhile at the Lundys, right? Hi, there's the Lundys. There's the Lundys. And my kids are so proud. My mom came back and my mom was like, your kids are so proud to be a Lundy because they are honored in their community. They are honored and they are loved. And so I'm so grateful for you for that. Thank you for honoring my wife. Thank you for honoring my children. It has been absolutely amazing over the last 882 episodes, the last 3 years, what we've been able to build, the connections, the relationships, and what you've done in my life. So I want to start today by saying thank you. I am so grateful for you. And then I also want to let you know that I am so grateful for you that yesterday I had a vision. 3 hours later, we started to execute on that vision. And today I'm going to announce that vision to you. I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate you in the biggest and most powerful way ever. So as we are at episode 882, that means episode 1000 of hashtag Rise and Grind is going to fall on November 5th, 2021. November 5th, 2000. Somebody said I'm on mute on Clubhouse. I am not on mute on Clubhouse. I can see my thing is unmuted. I'm not on mute on Clubhouse. Whoever said that, I can see that it's working. And you just scared me. All right. Episode 1000 of hashtag Rise and Grind is going to be November 5th of 2021. And I want you to mark your calendars for that weekend. Because that weekend, I am going to throw... Somebody else said I'm on mute on Clubhouse. Is that the same person? Can you flash your mics on Clubhouse if you can hear me? Can somebody flash their mic? Yeah, I see mic flashes. I'm sorry. There must be something going on with your phone. So I'm going to throw a party for you unlike anything you've ever imagined. November 5th, that weekend, November 5th is a Friday. That weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, mark your calendars now. If you've got something already on the calendar, change it. Get rid of it. Remember the 5th of November, as they say in one of my favorite movies of all time. Remember the 5th of November, because I am going to throw the biggest stinking party you've ever imagined. I'm going to go and invite every single speaker that's ever been on my show. Every person that we've ever interviewed on hashtag Rise and Grind, I am going to do everything in my power to get them to attend this once-in-a-lifetime event. Every single one of them. Eric Thomas, Danelle Delgado, Ed Milet, Shaka Dyson, Lisa Copeland, Brian Benstock, right? Like my whole crew, all of the people, Darian Sanders, Liza Myers Borges, all the crew from Breakfast with Champions. Like I am going to do everything in my power. And we've had some amazing guests, right? Amazing guests over the years. Steve Brewster, I'm going to get that dude there. Every guest that we've ever had, I'm going to have them show up to celebrate you that weekend of November 5th. We are going to have music from Darian and his crew. We're going to make that happen. We're going to have performances, like full-on live performances. Think like Cirque du Soleil type stuff, right? We're going to have performances from the talented people that we've been having on our show. We're going to have performances from them. We're going to have networking opportunities, obviously, to get to know everybody together. Those of us that have been a part of this journey for the last 3 years, even if you're brand new to it, we're going to have networking opportunities. It's going to be super, super, super high energy because that's the only way I know how to throw a party. If you've been to any of my events, Hustle and Grind Con, Grow Your Business for God's sake, any of that, yes, Amelia says she's in. That's what I'm talking about. If you've ever been to any of my events, it's always super high energy. That's the way that we do things. So it's going to be high energy. We're going to have massive fun. We're going to pour into you with massive, massive value. November 5th, it's going to be a weekend long event. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll figure out exactly how far we go into Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be a weekend long. Mark your calendars right now. You're going to get a chance to meet Austin. I'm going to get Austin there. Austin's the kid that you guys saved. He was a homeless dude. We picked him up off the street. You guys saved him and completely changed his life forever. He's getting married now. He's got a beautiful family, and it's all because of you. You're going to get a chance to meet him. You're going to get to meet Derek McLean. Derek McLean, you guys poured into a while back, a few years ago. We helped him while his wife was battling breast cancer, and you all supported him. You're going to get a chance to meet Derek McLean. I'm going to make sure Derek McLean is there. The team from Rescue One Global that you guys raised $400,000 for. You guys raised $400,000 in 24 hours to battle human sex trafficking. You did that. You, as a member of this group, as supporting this group by hitting the share button and the likes and the comments, you raised $400,000 to fight human sex trafficking. And the team that we partnered up with to do that, they're going to be there. I'm going to make sure they're at that event so they too can celebrate you and pour into you. It will be a weekend that you will remember and treasure for a lifetime. That is my promise to each and every single one of you. There will be nothing like it ever before, and maybe never again after. I can't make that promise because I like to do things bigger. And we're going to do the entire thing right here in Lexington, Kentucky. Right here in Lexington, Kentucky, where it all started. Hashtag Rise and Grind. Almost 4 years ago, episode 1000. We will stream live from the event. So you'll be able to watch it live right there in person. And we are going to celebrate you. Because I am so over the top grateful for who you are. So I don't have a website yet. I don't have tickets yet. I don't have nothing yet except for a dream and a vision and a commitment from Danelle Delgado. And now Amelia. That's about all I got because this was a vision. Yesterday morning, I told my team about it a couple hours later, and this morning it was on my heart to tell you because I want to give you plenty of time to clear your calendars. The weekend of November 5th. Remember, the 5th of November. It is going to be absolutely epic. Now, with that said, I do have a show for you today. I just got a little pumped up and jacked up about that. So let's dive into episode 882 of hashtag Rise and Grind in the series Walk This Way. One man can change the world. Now, I know, I'm supposed to say, let's dance, and we're supposed to dance right now, and an object in motion stays in motion, and I'm supposed to say good morning to West Storm and Francesca, and good morning to Janelle and Gail and Billy Sherm, and I'm supposed to say good morning to Aisha and Jackson and Books, and of course, I'm supposed to say good morning to Brielle and Debbie and Scott and Honey, who's on stage. I love her joining us lately, and I'm supposed to say good morning to Cheryl and Deidre and Samantha and Lynn and all that. I'm supposed to do all of that, and we're supposed to dance, and you're supposed to get moving, but we're not going to do that today. We'll do that at the end, all right? We'll do that at the end because I've already spent the first 15 minutes talking about this beautiful, beautiful event that's going to happen November 5th. All right. So good morning. I see you. I love you. Let's dive in. This week, we've been talking about how one man can change the world. And one of the things that one of the people that we highlighted was Farah Nickerson. I don't know if you remember that earlier in the week. We talked about Farah Nickerson. Good morning, Online Biz Diva. Good morning, Tim Hunt. Good morning, Gary Henderson. Great to see you. All right. So we talked about Farah Nickerson and how she changed the world with hedgehogs. She is changing the world with hedgehogs. And we talked about James Harrison, who is changing the world. He donated blood every single week for 61 years and saved over 2.4 million people's lives. We talked about Betty Waters, who dedicated her life to proving that her brother was innocent and getting him released from jail after being falsely incarcerated. We talked about, and now she's helping other people do the same, changing the world. What's up, Mr. Michael Guthrie? We also talked about Jim Barnett and his company Glitch that is creating happier environments for people at work and literally changing the world through the workplace. We talked about Margaret Ann Cargill, who on her death day donated $6 billion to charity. $6 billion to charity after already donating over $200 million. What's the word I'm looking for? After donating $200 million anonymously in her lifetime. And we talked about this guy named Jesus that went around for 3 years with this story of hope and value and worth and ultimately changed the world on a massive, massive, massive scale and continues to do so. And what's interesting about all of these people is they all embody the fact that one man or one woman can change the world. Each one of these people that I just listed off, each one of them, by stepping into their unique gift, has been able to create a ripple effect that has changed the world and will continue to do so for decades and decades and decades to come. You see, William Shakespeare said it best, and I mentioned this quote yesterday: the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Today, we're going to meet a few more people, each who found incredibly creative ways to impact many around the world for generations to come. And the first is one that I struggle just a little bit with the name, so bear with me here. But this idea of one man can change the world was 100% embraced. It's been embraced by many, but it was embraced by Vinayao Narahari Bhav. Vinayao Narahari Bhav. Now, this man here, this amazing superhuman here, was a student of Gandhi's in the 1930s and the 40s. He was Gandhi's student, and ultimately he was chosen. He was chosen to speak and represent India in a way that Gandhi couldn't. You see, India was trying to break away from British rule. They were under British rule at the time, and they wanted to break free of that, whereas Gandhi couldn't really speak into that. There were some religious reasons where he couldn't defy necessarily the lawmakers, and so he couldn't really speak into it the way that he wanted, and so he chose his student to speak for them. And his student then spoke and rallied with a nonviolent philosophy and ended up making a tremendous impact on the entire country of India. I want you to think for just a second, kind of Martin Luther King, right? He was like the Martin Luther King of the time for India. He spoke nonviolent, spoke eloquently, and ultimately changed the transfer of the rule and the lay of the land in India at the time. Now, what was crazy is originally this dude was like completely unknown, right? Just a normal Indian dude going about his life, just a man walking around his village. But he says this, he says as he would walk around his village, he would just simply try to find solutions to problems. That's it. He would literally walk miles and miles and miles from village to village to village and try to find a solution for a problem. That's all he focused on. He didn't focus on the problems. He focused on how can I find solutions for the problems. And so fast forward, he was able to speak for India after being a student of Gandhi, which was amazing. But fast forward to 1951. And in 1951, he walked the country of India. And he asked landowners, farmers, people that had lots of land, that had tons of acreage. He asked the landowners if they would treat him like their own son and give him 1/6 of their land, about 18%. All right, so I just want you to imagine you have 100 acres of land. You're farming probably on, I don't know, let's say 60 acres of the 100, and somebody comes up to you and says, hey, you've seen that I've done some pretty cool things for India against the rule of Britain, and I was wondering if you would give me just 18% of your land. I just want that little piece back there in the far corner that you can't quite reach, you never quite get to. It's a little bit too far from the house. I was wondering if I could have that. And he went around India on foot, walked from farm to farm to farm to farm to farm, and asked these people for 1/6 of their land. And he made all of these agreements. And then, check this out. Once he made all of these agreements for their land, he went and gave all of that land to the landless and the poor. He went and gave all that property to these people who couldn't afford land, to these people that were hungry and didn't have a place to grow their own crops. He gave it all away. 1/6 of as many farmers' lands as he could get to agree. And what an amazing solution, right? I think about this. I think about this all the time, how powerful we are when we come together, the ability to impact and effect that we can have if we all just give a little bit, right? Each of these landowners gave 18%, land that they weren't even using probably in most cases. And it was able to completely transform the world because now these poor people were able to farm, they were able to feed, they were able to make babies and bring on new generations and support their families. And think about the ripple effect that has. If somebody gives you a piece of land and says, now you can farm, now you can feed, now you can support your family. And it didn't hurt the farmer one bit. He gave away 18%. He wasn't even using, but by giving that away collectively over time, they changed the world. Are you kidding me? Golly, imagine what we could do as a planet if everybody would take that philosophy, that little bit of excess fat that you don't need, that's just sitting in the corner. If we took that and used that to take someone who's landless and poorless and change their life, landless and poorless isn't a word, and change their life, think about what could happen. Oh, that gets me fired up. Another woman They actually put this dude on a stamp, man. This dude, he made such an impact. They put him on the stamp. That's what I'm talking about. And then there's this woman named Reshma Sajani. Reshma Sajani. And this woman right here, she's a lawyer. She's a politician. She's a civil servant. She was in Forbes 40 under 40. She ran for Congress in 2009. She ran again in 2013. And this woman has been single-handedly battling for equality and eradicating female injustice all the way through Washington and beyond. Through Washington and beyond. She's done a TED Talk that's gone viral. She's got a podcast called Brave Not Perfect with Reshma Sajani. And in 2012, she created something called Girls Who Code. What she found is there was a whole lot of disparity in Silicon Valley. There was a whole lot of disparity in the computing world. Basically, it was a whole bunch of men running all things computer. And she was like, no, I don't think so. I'm an author. I'm a podcaster. I'm a TED talker. And I am a world changer. And so she creates Girls Who Code. And Girls Who Code is collectively bringing together smart women from all around the globe and including them in these deep immersion programs. She's got these 7-week immersion programs. She's got these clubs that she's built around these women in coding, these very smart and intelligent women. She's got meetups that they do. She's got all these different groups. She's created there's a book series that they share together. And in doing so, she's taking young, smart girls that are typically not getting a shot in Silicon Valley, or typically not getting a fair shake. And she's teaching them not just how to win the game, but ultimately she's teaching them, she's not just like strengthening them, she's ultimately empowering them. She's teaching them to become bad ASSs and destroy the competition. Not just be equal to, be better than. And destroy the competition. And in the process of showing them how to win at that level, she's changing the world. She's changing the world because there's other young women whose eyes are on them. There's other young women who are saying, if they can, I can. There was a woman named Mrs. Sage who in kindergarten told me that salt was bad for you. And since that day, I've never put extra salt on anything. Mrs. Sage also allowed me to, as a kindergartner, go into the 3rd grade class and read to the 3rd graders because I was a great reader. And she helped spark a love in me of the English language. Mrs. Johnson was my teacher my junior year of high school. Mrs. Johnson saw that I had a gift for creative writing, and so she allowed me to teach the freshmen and put me in a position of honor in her classroom, which continued to spark my love for the English language. My friend Darian Sanders leaned into me and told me that Jesus was real and that I needed God in my life. And he introduced me, him and Melissa Thompson introduced me to a church called Southland Christian, where ultimately I ended up being baptized, and it completely changed my world. My wife, Leslie Lundy, saw potential and believed in me when many others would have thrown me out with the trash. She saw something in me that others didn't, and ultimately helped me to see something in me that even I didn't see, and completely changed my world. Josh Cummins at Dan Cummins Chevrolet in Buick gave me a shot when no one else would. He gave me an opportunity to show who I was and to live out my full potential, and then gave me the grace and the honor of allowing me to spread my wings and fly and still love me just the same. Each one of those people made an impact on me that has not just changed my world, but ultimately put me in the seat that I'm in today so that hopefully I can have an impact on yours. I know that Rise and Grind has changed the world, not just today, not just last year, but going forward for generations to come. I know that by waking up earlier and changing the way you start your day, it makes a massive impact in your life and on this planet. I know that 100%. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the one man or the one woman that stepped up to change the world. You see, folks, you have power in you. You have power in you. That's why I so desperately seek to celebrate you. You have so much power in you, and the only question I have for you today is, are you going to use it? Are you going to use it? Are you going to voice it? Are you going to speak it? Are you going to step into it? Or are you going to bury it? Are you going to bury it for safekeeping? There's a parable in the Bible, the parable of the talents. And that parable speaks about how important it is that we step into and multiply the gifts that we've been given. You see, I believe with all of my heart that you and I are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And that God made you and me to be the absolute best versions of our unique selves that we can possibly be. Not an average version, not a little bit above average, and not a little bit below, but the absolute best. And in order for you to become the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be, you're going to have to step into your unique gifts. The unique gifts that make you so incredibly special. In my eyes, in the eyes of your friends, of your family members, of your coworkers, of your neighbors. And it matters. You, by stepping into your greatness, you can change the world. Listen, if you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. We got tons of them up there, 881. If you're listening on the podcast, I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you drop me a comment so that I can see you. If you're in Clubhouse, shoot me a message or hang out. We're going to go talk about this a little bit more over in Clubhouse. We're going to talk for the next 23 minutes or so over there. So you can come join us in Clubhouse. Make sure you hit that share button on your way out. And please mark your calendars. November 5th, the weekend of November 5th, November 5th, 6th, 7th, 2021. I want to have the opportunity to celebrate you and to continue to pour into you in a very live and real way so that you can continue to go out there and change the world. I love you, my friends. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So let's get out there today. Let's have an amazing day. And then I'll see you again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. We're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. Take care.
Hashtag blessed, write my mission, vision, values, and my gratitude list. I'm building up momentum, I'm making good decisions. I rise, I grind, I get it, ain't no doubt that I'm committed. Cause who really loses if I don't win? Can't cheat the grind, only get what you put in. So I'm mastering my mentals, I'm focused on my physical. I'm developing spiritually and manifesting miracles. I'm gonna get it started, have a party in the morning, and I'ma wake the world, it's so alarming. I hashtag rise and grind, hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation, hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind, grind, 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 grind. Good morning, don't stop, get it, get it. Good morning, don't stop, get it, get it, get it. Good morning, don't stop, get it, get it, get it. Good morning, don't stop, get it, get it. Hashtag rise and grind, let's go, let's get it. Let's go, let's go, let's hashtag rise and grind, let's go, let's hashtag rise, let's go, let's go, let's hashtag rise and grind. I know you hashtag rise, let's go, let's go, let's hashtag rise and grind, let's go, let's hashtag rise, let's go. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, everybody in the land. Make them all get up and turn the volume up and dance. I'm up like a rooster about my